Can we take a moment now to recognize the amount of South African artists that are dominating the Mamas this weekend, the gateway to Africa, and most notably Black Coffee, I think certainly an out-and-out favorite. A little bit earlier on the show, he opened up about the controversial side of his career, the pressures of fame, and he's normally one to stay away from controversy, but he really did open up about that slap incident, offering quite a heartfelt apology. Well, we dig a little deeper now as he continues his chat with Thenji, getting into his unbelievable backstory and his meteoric rise to fame.
Known to his close friends as Just Nutty, Black Coffee has come a long way from his childhood homes in eThekwini and Mthatha to supporting the dreams of South African youth.
Let's take it back to the beginning for a second. What is your story of seduction? What made you pursue the music industry?
I can't explain. I can't explain what really happened. What attracted me to music. It was just that thing that I loved, and I discovered very early that I couldn't sing, which was the most weird thing. Because people sometimes get drawn to music when they can play an instrument, when they can sing. I just knew that I want to be involved in this thing. Then the DJing thing came. Then I was interested in production. But even then, I couldn't really produce. But I was like, I want to be involved in this thing, against all odds. And that's how I got in. I just never stopped. Anything that had to do with music in my neighborhood, in school, in church, I was in just to be involved and learn.
And for young people coming up the same kind of trajectory that you are, what do you think are the difficulties that they're having to deal with now?
It's self-belief. People are so afraid to fail. That means you won't move. And not just young people. We have a very terrible past as a country. And we were told we were this. And for so many decades, we believed that. And that is the past, but it has affected so many people. So you live in an environment where everyone else was painted with one brush. You can't be anything else. This is your color. But you have this kid who is just so positive and think, no, I'm not that color. I'm so many different ones. But the grain he's growing against is much stronger because everyone is like, dude, calm down. This is who you are. Stop dreaming. And it affects the younger generation. And the younger generation doesn't have belief in themselves because the older generation was told and they believed that they couldn't achieve anything. So if anything, that's what I would love the young people to know, or the people of this country, to believe in themselves more, to love themselves more. Because I believe if you love yourself enough, you want the best for yourself.
Now, you were someone who was lucky enough to get to experience higher education when you studied music. What part of the Fees Must Fall movement really resonates with you, if at all? And do you think it's something that young people really should be championing at this point?
I worry so much about this country. Fees Must Fall is a big thing, and it's getting worse every day. But I worry even beyond it. Let's say fees fall and there's free education. People get degrees. What happens next? Because we have so many people with degrees in this country that are sitting and have no jobs. I think we should get to a point where we restructure our education totally before we can get to even Fees Must Fall. I think this is one of my biggest ultimate dreams, is to get into a level where I create a school. And I'm working on one now, like a music college. Because with studying music, I realized even the best students at my college where I studied, they don't have jobs. That's my worry. My worry is, when are we going to change the education system? When are we going to start teaching people how to be able to self-sustain themselves and start businesses and steer them to the direction of their passion? I think we are in a position now as a country where we need to understand how unique we are and how different we are to the world. And I think we need to start thinking that way and be bold enough to create platforms or institutions that work for us, not just follow what everyone is doing. Because like I said, so many people in this country have degrees and fees can fall. People will have degrees, but where are the jobs?
While he's concerned about South Africa's future, Black Coffee's work shines a bright light of hope for the continent. Later in the show, the DJ shares his passion for music. Stay tuned.